Welcome everyone to today's weekly live stream program. Thank you for joining us on yet another enlightening episode. As you already know, we will be discussing a crucial and important topic that speaks to every immigrant trying to bring their American dream to life. Pathways to Citizenship for Undocumented Immigrants. We are here to shed light on the often complex journey towards becoming a US citizen, and more importantly, to debunk some misconceptions. Today, we'll shed light on the often misunderstood journey to becoming a US citizen. One prevailing myth we'll address right off is saying that there's no direct path from being undocumented to becoming a citizen. While this may be right, the first essential step is obtaining a green card or lawful permanent residency. That is the foundation upon which your citizenship aspirations can be built. To guide us through the various pathways available to obtaining a green card, the eligibility requirements, and the potential challenges along the way, I am joined today by a renowned and outstanding figure in the immigration law sector, a two-timed 2024 and 2023 Super Lawyer Awardee, an author, a legal technology expert, and overall an immigration lawyer with over 20 years of experience. Please welcome with me Mr. Attorney Naresh Gehi.
Good afternoon. It's wonderful being on the show, and thank you so much, Malia, for doing such a fantastic job. A big thank you to the entire team of Immigration Question for making this happen. And with me today is Rahul Desa, who's just a brilliant law clerk, senior law clerk slash paralegal, and he'll be joining with me to answer your questions today.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Gehi. Like you rightly said, I also have joining us today an astute and knowledgeable legal professional while currently working as senior law clerk in one of the best immigration law firms of New York. Mr. Rahul brings a wealth of experience and success stories with record with immigration matters to the table. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Rahul.
Thank you. Look forward to the discussion.
Right, you
Thank
can
you.
call him Rahul. No formalities. You can call me Mr. Gay, but you can call him Rahul for sure. Great.
Sure,
So,
sure, Mr. Gehi.
Before you start, Mali, I have a very interesting intellectual question, Rahul. I'm
Okay.
sure 99.99999% lawyers are going to say there's no direct way, and which Malia is actually correct, for someone to become a citizen. I'm going to give you a chance. Let's make this into a quiz. Is
Okay.
there a way for someone who's undocumented to become a citizen directly? Directly. The
Dir-
army requires a green card. You're right.
yes.
That's the law. But how about
Yes.
direct citizenship? Come on.
Direct citizenship without a green
Yes.
card first.
Yes.
That I mean, if it's through your parents, perhaps,
That's
but
right.
if you
Undocumented, no.
if you're yeah, I think
I mean,
That's a wait. That's a very important question for lawyers, I would say, more than people who are watching the show. Tell me.
uh,
I've done some research, but there is a possibility for that. There's only one avenue that can happen through the
that
President of the United States, wherein they confer you honorary citizenship through the act of Congress. So take an
okay.
example, people like Mother Teresa. Look at some Nobel laureates who get direct citizenship. So I think in that case, if someone is getting a citizenship, the common sense that will never happen. But if someone gets a direct citizenship, Rahul, then that entire unlawful presence and everything comes to an end. So there is a way. But has that ever been used in history? My answer is no. But this is where the Constitution of the United States comes in, and not many people read the Constitution of the United States very carefully. How do you like my answer, Rahul?
Yeah, I mean, an act of Congress could do it. I think. Yeah, it's not something that most people think of. To
Exactly. An act of Congress can do it. And if the Congress says to the president, we have no problem, since this person has done so much for the USA, direct citizenship can be granted through an act of Congress. Yes, Malia. And so
Yes.
now, answering Malia's question first,
Right.
otherwise, there's no direct way for someone to become a citizen. So, but what we are going to do in today's show, we are going to go step by step and take up each category and explain them of how people can first get the green cards and how they can even expedite their citizenships. And what people are going to learn in the show is novel ways through which how to get the green cards and become a citizen and vote in the United States. So let's first start with simple examples, and then after, of course, Malia will talk and we'll have a full discussion. The easiest way for people to understand immigration is by means of simple examples. So first, I'm going to give simple examples, and after that, Malia will ask the questions, and Rahul will also join in. So we have a very interactive discussion today. Number one, you entered into the US with a visa. Number one, you came with a visa over here, and B1, B2 visa or a student visa, except for a C1D or except for a J visa, which is subject to the 2 year foreign residency requirement. The good thing for you is that if you entered with a visa, even if you have overstayed your visa and have accrued unlawful presence, one of the best ways is getting married to an American citizen. Now, through that, you get a work permit in the US. Later on, you qualify for the green card. Now, let's take this a little further because we are going to talk all the way to citizenship. Now, since you are married to an American citizen, from the date of your green card, after 3 years, you can apply for citizenship and you become a citizen. So, give or take, in approximately 4 years, you can become a citizen in the United States if you get married to a US citizen. You started off from a point wherein you are on a B1, B2 visa or a student visa, and you're year up to your citizenship here. So that is 4 years. Now, second is consider you came in by crossing the border into America without a visa. Now, there's a new program in place in the US, which is known as the Parole in Place program. Now, through this, what you can do, you're married, and basically, your marriage occurred before June 17th, 2024, crossed the border, and you came in here. Now, through that, the good news is if you qualify, you may not have to leave the United States. That's the purpose of it. Married the person, you're going to be granted parole in place. After that, once you get a green card, then you can apply for citizenship after 3 years. Now, why is that possible? Because you are married to an American citizen. Now, both the facts put together, you came in, you get married to a green card holder. If you're out of status, you cannot get a green card in America. If you get a green card, it's going to take 5 years. If you cross the border and came in, it'll take a little longer because the waivers are taking longer. And then you're looking at 5 or 6 years to get your citizenship. So, as you're seeing, there's a big difference when you marry a citizen and when you marry a green card holder. So, what we've covered so far, people who cross the border and come into the country, and people who entered with a visa, were inspected at the airport, overstayed, but married a citizen because they were inspected at the airport here. Because they have this advantage of getting the green cards in America if they marry a citizen. And that entire journey can be approximately 4 to 4.5 years. Malia, that's my first answer to your question today.
Thank you so much for the in depth discussion, Mr. Gehi. Now we can delve into topics such as family based petitions, employment based visas, and special programs for certain groups, like you mentioned, that's PIP. We'll also discuss the importance of seeking legal counsel and avoiding common pitfalls, right? So, first up, let's hear from you, Mr. Gehi, who will provide an overview of the different pathways to a green card, what are the various options currently available?
All right, so I'm first going to, kind of talk to Rahul. Rahul, the way I look at it, and of course you can elaborate on it. Number one, which I look at is, getting, the marriage based,
Yes.
the easiest way, getting married to a citizen is number one. Second is family based immigration. Now, if you are a US citizen over here, and if your parents have been here who entered with a visa, they can also qualify for the green card. So your children over the age of 21 who are US citizens, they can sponsor the parents, and within 1 year they can get their green card approximately. But remember, in this case, the parents will have to apply for their citizenship after 5 years, which means 4 years and 9 months. But remember now, when you're dealing with parents, it's after 4 years and 9 months. Unlike spouses, that was 3 years. Look at the big difference here. So, citizen sponsoring parents, 1 year for the green card. After the green card, you're going to take around, 5 years to apply for citizenship. So, equally, you're looking at 6 years for them to become citizens, 1 year to get the green card. Brothers and sisters, OMG, oh my God, they can apply for you, but only 12 to 13 years now. And you have to
They can
stay
start.
legal here, which has become literally an impossibility for people. Married sons and daughters of US citizens, it's taking around 9 years or 10 years, at least, for them, for their cases to come up. You're looking around 10 years for them to get the green card. Unmarried sons and daughters, similar problems, 7 years, 8 years. So the list goes on and on for family based immigration. Now, the good thing is, Rahul, there has been a small change in spouses of green card holders. So the filing dates have been really good, and they moved up very well. As you know, you can look it up and you can tell people what's going on with the filing dates of the F2A category.
Yes, in the most recent bulletin, currently the wait times for spouses and children of permanent residents, and again, children means children under the age of 21, the wait time right now is just under 3 years for a visa to become available.
That is
Um,
not bad, really. And plus, if they're in the US, the filing dates is only 2 months behind if you look at it.
Correct, yes. I mean,
2 months.
it's even quicker if you're already in the United States.
So if you're in the US, suppose like you're a green card holder, you fell in love with somebody here. Great news for you. Within 6 or 7 months, you'll be able to apply for her, and at least she'll get a work permit and she can live with you, and life goes on from there. That's something that's amazing. I believe these are the recent changes that have been happening. Now, let's talk about some other important issues. Let's go to the employment based immigration issue. What we've covered so far is different ways through which you can become a citizen, but first comes a green card, as we rightly said. EB1A, I think that's a brilliant way for people from India and China to consider Rahul.
Yes,
And I'll tell you
absolutely.
why. Look at how long it's taking under the employment based second and the third category. Now, who are the people who see us? Mostly people who see us are people who actually have gone to other lawyers, especially in the employment based immigration category. They're sick and tired of the EB2 category, and if they're from China or from India, and they're sick and tired of the wait period in the EB3 category. Now, what are their options for becoming green card holders? Now, most of these people are brilliant, Rahul. And most of the people that you and I have met, their master's degrees and all, as you know, from the US. There's a ray of hope. There's a cloud of hope for them. What they need to do is if they can just put in a limited amount of time every week, around 15 to 20 hours a week, work on publications, join certain groups, and at the same time, become a judge in the field of endeavor and get some press coverage for their work, which is really not that hard. The good thing is, in that situation, they can qualify EB1A for EB1A. And the beauty of EB1A is that they don't need a sponsor, Rahul.
Correct.
And I don't know why a lot of people from India and China are not basically exploring these opportunities, they feel that I'm going to wait for 18 years until my EB2 becomes current. Big mistake. I'm going to wait for 12 years. I'm struggling every day. Big mistake. Your employer will never tell you these ways. But smart people, what they do, they set up meetings with lawyers, and smart lawyers know of how to kind of look at the resume and proceed further. Yes, EB1A is slow right now, but I don't know whether you've seen the recent change. It's coming back, Rahul. So can you answer that question about the filing date for the EB1A for India also, so people
For
know?
India right now, it is, a little on the slow side. It's not current, but it is, 2022, which is 10 years faster than the second category, which I think is
Can you
2012
check
right
the
now.
filing date for EB1A for India right now? Filing date.
The filing date is,
Open the visa bulletin.
yeah, it is, the filing date for is right now, it's February of 2022.
See that?
And for the second category, it's July of 2012. So
So
it is a very
if
significant
you're
difference.
on an H1B visa right now, you have this 3-year H1B. Isn't it smart enough for you to apply for your I-140? And if you meet the qualifications of work with an attorney, get that out of your way, and in 2 to 3 years you get a green card. This is how smart people plan. Now, a regular planner, he'll say, I'm going to wait for my EB2 rather than basically making use of the weekends and putting in a little bit of extra work. You can basically cut down the wait period in these categories by nearly around 10 years or so. And there are people in EB3, and believe it or not, I've seen people having two master's degrees. If you have two master's degrees, you're already close to the EB1A. I mean, if you did it recently for a client of ours, he had two master's degrees, go for EB1A. And he worked hard and he was successful. Prior results do not guarantee future outcome. And in this program, the information given is general in nature, and it does not apply to specific facts and circumstances of a client's case unless and until an attorney-client agreement is entered between the parties. So this is where EB1A comes in. No, but when you're dealing with other countries, which means you're lucky, hallelujah. The good news is you're very close to being current, Rahul. Look at EB2 and look at EB3 and let people know what's going on.
Right. I mean, a lot of the times the difference between EB1 or EB2 is a question of presentation of the same material and how you develop your resume and, basically present the same information and credentials to USCIS. That can have a very big difference. And a lot of people can actually qualify for the EB1 category on that basis. Uh,
Now, yes, you are correct. And now the other thing is that under EB1, EB2, EB3 for other countries, it's not bad. So if I'm from a country other than India and China, for example, I happen to be from the UK, I'm from London, I'm here, or I am from Australia, or if I'm from Pakistan, or if I'm from Bangladesh, or if I'm from Sri Lanka, it's not bad from any other country, including, I would say, like, take a country in the world, or you're looking at the Netherlands, you're looking at any country, Austria, or any country. EB2 and EB3 is not bad at all for them. So in these cases, they need to look at EB2, EB3. Now, once if they get the green cards, the pathway to the citizenship is after 5 years. But there is one intelligent way to bypass the 5 years for everyone who is not a spouse of a US citizen. The only way to bypass, Rahul, is to join the US military. Your thoughts
yeah,
on that?
1 year of military service.
Can you
Following
talk?
1 year, yes, following 1 year of military service, you can be eligible for citizenship, assuming that you have been a lawful permanent resident and that you meet a few other requirements. But you would be able to apply for naturalization under a separate category, INA 328 or 329.
328 and 329 of the INA.
Yes, on the basis of your 1 year of military service. So you can cut down the 4 year wait time to citizenship directly. It can also, create
But
benefits for
when
your
people
family
use that,
members.
actually, there's a reason when people use that. Now, see, this is where complications of the law come in, and when I would use it. Now, for example, I just got my green card right now. Okay. Now, look at the level that we practice law here. Suddenly you feel that you just got a green card and your parents are in deportation right now. And now you're left with this unfortunate choice of getting a deportation order for your parents or getting them the green card. In this case, I would join the military, become a citizen, and even if your parents entered unlawfully, get them parole in place, Rahul, and they become green card holder. That's a very, very novel way and a very intelligent way of getting them green cards. Not many lawyers will give answers to these questions, but that is the way of helping your parents with that. So I think Malia is getting a lot of
Right.
questions. And I
Yes,
think this show
exactly.
will be going on a little longer, folks. So there's a
Yes.
tremendous demand, I see. So we are going to continue the show, please.
Sure. Thank you so much for the valuable insight, Mr. Gay. We have a couple of questions coming from the audience. I'd like to address them first. We have this one from Mr. Kumar Patel. All people are filing in EB1 who have approval for EB2 and EB2. So, what will be impact in future because of the elections?
I think if people are considering EB1A, they should apply right now because the administration has been very, very good. So if you want to go for EB1A, the answer is no. But if your EB2 is approved, or if your EB3 is approved, you can port those dates to the EB1 and apply for the green card straight up. That's the beauty of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Gay. That was very insightful. We have Mr. Kumar Patel asking us another question.
Kyra
Without
is
GC, yeah, Ms. Kyra has come. My parents brought me to the US as a child without documentation. Can I qualify for DACA and will that lead to citizenship,
right now.
please?
DACA's closed. Unfortunately, the doors for DACA are closed, and I think it's not. She's not going to qualify at this stage because the timeline for DACA is already gone. But that's unfortunately the answer would be no in this case. But she has other options, or even she came into the country without documentation. She can marry an American citizen, and we can go for the provisional waiver through which she may qualify for a green card. And also, if she's under 21 right now, and if she's in New York, and if she doesn't have any parents, or if she has a lot of hardship from her parents, she can consider the SIJ petition, the Special Immigrant Juvenile Petition. If she's been an abandoned child, she may have options for that.
We have another question coming from Miss Hannah, an undocumented immigrant, and I'm a victim of domestic violence by my US citizen spouse. Can I apply for green card by my own?
Yes. So what you'll have to do in this case, right? If you've been a victim of abuse under BABA, I think Rahul is going to talk a lot about BABA, who's my favorite law clerk, a senior law clerk. Uh, the person can qualify under BABA, and unlawful presence is waived under the INA, and unlawful presence and entry issues are waived under 212 of the INA. So I think 212 comes into play here. The first thing that comes into play is if she's married to a citizen, unlawful presence is waived and unlawful entry is waived under 212A9C3 of the INA. So the leading case on the point for unlawful presence is the matter of Shah. So I don't see it to be a problem, and the person can qualify for a green card in the United States under Section 245 of the INA. Rahul, your thoughts on that?
Yes, absolutely. Victims of domestic violence, Congress has understood that one form of abuse is keeping undocumented immigrants in that status as a means of control over them. And so Congress and the United States government do permit you, as a victim of domestic violence committed by a U.S. citizen spouse, and not just spouse, it can also be another immediate relative. If you're the victim of domestic violence by, for example, a U.S. citizen parent or even child, that is another option for you to basically independently of them. And this would be an entirely confidential process that they wouldn't have access to. You would be able to safely petition for yourself on that basis. You do have to demonstrate the same things that you would otherwise if you were
Extreme
in the same
cruelty.
relationship.
Extreme
So you have
cruelty.
to show it's a good faith. It was a good faith marriage, and in addition to that, that they, that it was a legally valid marriage, and that you meet all the other requirements for permanent residency. But you wouldn't require them or anybody else to petition for you if you can also show that you were the victim of either abuse or extreme cruelty, which need not be physical abuse. It can also be emotional and psychological. And in addition to that, people who do fall into that category, as you said previously, Mr. Gay, he have additional benefits as well. For example, they don't need to worry about inspection or admission or parole. If they crossed the border and entered without
That's
inspection,
also novel. They get the work permits very quickly, and they are also entitled to public benefits. That's a great benefit in this case, I believe.
yes, there are a lot of significant benefits to that as well.
Yes,
Thank you
Maria.
so
So I have
much.
a question. Uh, is there a number that people can call, or how
Yes.
can they join the show? Does anyone have a question to join the show, or is there a number they can call us, or how does that work?
They can definitely join us during the live stream itself. If we have any audience out there who would like to join us live, you can just drop us a comment that you'd like to join us live, and our backend is going to facilitate that for you.
I'd love to see people coming live and asking questions. If
Right.
anyone has a question, feel free to join us live, and we love taking live questions and everything.
I do see one
Absolutely.
question from Kumar Patel that I would just wanted to answer quickly. He's asked,
Mhm.
uh, "Can you become a
Without
veteran
GC.
without a green card as well?" Unfortunately, no. The requirements are that you have to be a lawful permanent resident in order to join the military.
That is correct.
Right. Also, to answer the another question of yours, Mr. Gehi, you asked if there's a number that they can reach out to. They can. The number is 516-703-3483. I repeat, it's 516-703-3483. You can even visit our website on immigrationquestions.com.
Is that displayed
We
here? Can it be displayed here somewhere, I believe? Or
Yes, it can definitely be displayed here. We also have a scan code here that is being displayed through which the audience can easily scan it and sign up for free. So we have another question coming from Andres. I'm an undocumented farm worker. Is there any program that can help me get legal status?
no, at this stage, the answer is no. That was under the SAW program. People are talking about the Special Agriculture Program, and unfortunately, if you didn't get in through that, you'll have to explore other avenues for immigration, like getting married, or if you're grandfathered under the INA, wherein you had an application pending under if you're grandfathered under the 245I of the INA, then you have a chance. Otherwise, the answer is no.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Gehi. Thank you so much for the valuable insight. We have another question coming. Where can I start applying for PIP back? I heard it's on hold, and I am an undocumented spouse.
All right, so now you can already apply, but remember there's a case law going on. But I think the government is still giving an opportunity to apply. The earlier you apply, the better it is, especially because I think the Texas Attorney General has applied for a stay of this program, but luckily the courts are saying until a stay is not granted, you can still continue applying. So the earlier the better, and we've been helping a lot of people from all over the U.S. from Gahi and Associates. That's gahilaw.com, and people can reach us out, and we'll be happy to explain it to them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Gehi, for answering the question. Um, our next question from Rashidat is okay. So our next question from Ms. Rashidat is my cousin missed her interview date for green
Saliman
card.
Cats, I believe.
Yes, Saliman. My cousin missed her interview date for a green card, and please, what can she do next?
All right, Rahul, that's a tricky question because if she missed it, then the government is going to deny the case, and then he'll have to file a motion to reopen or he'll have to reapply. I don't see it. There's no other way. Or if you missed it, immediately run to immigration, let them know to reschedule it. If you have got supervisor, he'll agree. If not, you're going to get a denial notice in the mail.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the valuable insight again, Mr. Gehi. Moving on to our next question from Daria. How long will it take for me to get my work permit, please? I am originally native of Guyana and am married to a US citizen.
Approximately 5 to 6 months, around 5 months.
That's quite quick. Thank you so much for the insight, Mr. Gehi. Moving on to our next question. From your ample years of experience, what are some of the fastest routes you could a person could become a U.S. citizen after obtaining a green card?
I think the most common way is getting married to a citizen and applying after 3 years. Very few people go through the US Army to get it done. So those are the two major ways which I've seen that people have explored over the years.
Thank you
And
so
the
much.
third one I can think about is political asylum. And after your asylum is granted, then after 4 years you can apply for, for your. But nowadays you can immediately apply for your 485, and then once you get it, then after that we can take it further.
Thank you so much for the valuable insight, Mr. Gehi. Now, our very last question to you, Rahul. What is the naturalization process about when it comes to the US citizenship?
Sure. So naturalization, the initial requirement, as Mr. Gahey said, is that you be a lawful permanent resident for a certain amount of time. Basically, its standard amount of time is 5 years before you're eligible for naturalization, but you can submit your application in advance of that date. However, as we've discussed, there are quicker ways. If you got your green card through marriage to a U.S. citizen, you can drop that down time to 3 years, and then again, with military service, that can
So
decrease to
another thing
1 year.
we forget to mention is the battered spouse who gets after 3 years we can go for the battered spouse also. Sorry to cut you on that.
Yes, yes. If you're applying under the previous provision that we were talking about, where you're self-petitioning because of your abusive relationship, the benefits of the marriage to a U.S. citizen are available to you for citizenship as well. That is another way. You don't have to actually have them be the petitioner if your battered spouse case is based on uh, your marriage to a U.S. citizen. But yes, in addition to what's it called, uh, the 5 year requirement, there's also a continuous presence requirement and a physical presence requirement. So you have to make sure that you spend more than half of those 5 years in the United States, and that you don't take any trips outside the United States that are more than 6 months in length. In order to, without, because that will cause the timeline to pause, and it may also create problems for your green card if you do that without telling them in advance.
Also, the
So
person has to maintain good moral character by paying taxes, etc., etc. Those things are pretty important.
yes, they're still going to look at the 5 year period before just determine whether you're a person of good moral character. That's a discretionary factor evaluation, but tax paying, the absence of criminal record, or vacating any convictions that might create a problem for you, or looking for some kind of post conviction relief may be necessary. But other than that, yes, they're making a discretionary decision based on your character. As you likely know, there's also there are two exams: an English exam and a civics exam. And you'll have your interview as well to discuss everything in your application. And they'll basically review your immigration history for you.
So next thing is Malia. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
This is such a great platform. So
Before we could wrap this up, I mean, this is for the audience. If you're just joining us, this is immigrationquestion.com live stream program. Immigrationquestion.com is a revolutionary platform that connects immigrants and users with qualified immigration attorneys. You can ask your questions for free, and you'll be connected to a verified attorney registered on the platform. For immigration attorneys, this is your opportunity to scale your practice to the next level. Register as an attorney and get up to 10 free client leads upon sign up, and enjoy resourceful benefits. So before we could wrap up the webinar, Mr. Gehi, what is the best thing that you like about our platform, immigrationquestions.com? And if you could name three things that you really like about our platform, and how can we improvise?
yeah, first thing is I like what you said. It's a non-attorney platform, which is very
Mhm.
neutral. It's not affiliated with the USCIS. That's what I
Right.
like. That has to nothing will do with them. It's an independent platform wherein a person can choose any lawyer of his choice. So that's what the good thing. And what I liked about your site is that you have this forum chat wherein people can ask questions. They can also go for the private chat. And I believe for people, they have the option to select the lawyer of their choice. That's a great benefit. So they can go online, look at the lawyer who's listed, pick one, and proceed further. Second thing, what I like about it is that it's very easy to use. Thirdly, it's great that you're giving leads. That's helping lawyers to grow the business. And also, like what I like about it, it's a one of a kind platform. But then I think I'm getting this. And thank you that I've been here for the second time, I believe. I'm getting this opportunity to come and explain immigration laws. And a lot of lawyers who are coming here, they're doing a very good job, by basically asking questions, and the people are really getting good answers. And people can ask questions from anywhere in the world. And you may be sitting in any part of the world, you get a chance to answer the question. And your weekly show is really amazing. And Malia, your entire team is doing a very good job with it. And I think it's a great
Absolutely.
way for lawyers to grow the business. At the same time, it's a good way for the public to interact with
Correct.
lawyers. What you're doing is you're getting both of them together on a single platform, giving lawyers the liberty to choose the clients they like, giving clients the liberty to choose what they want. And you're not an attorney, neither you're a law firm, and at the same time, you're not affiliated with the USCIS. That makes it very special, and you're keeping it very professional, or you're making sure that you're screening the right people to come on board. Plus, what I've seen is that you're also monitoring everything very well. Your team is doing a fantastic job. Rahul, as a law clerk, what would you like to say?
So I would also say that it's a great opportunity for law firms and lawyers to reach out to prospective clients and develop a kind of trust and rapport with them before they enter into the office. A lot of the times you're going to be answering questions that aren't necessarily capable of being answered in one session, and this can lead to a longer term and business developing relationship between you and the client. And this platform is a great way to actually grow your practice, and we've found that at Gahey and Associates.
Also, another thing which is very important: only lawyers admitted to the United States, or in the United States, are allowed to come in and give advice. And I think that's another very good thing, that you're not allowing any foreign lawyers here because they're not admitted. They should not be giving legal advice, and you're not allowing anyone who's not an attorney admitted to practice in the US to come on the platform. I think that's fantastic. I've read the rules of your site, and I think I'm glad that you're putting it in proper perspective. You're also watching the ethics. You're making sure that anyone who asks a question that's out of line, or someone who abuses, they are immediately kind of boycotted from the site. And keep up with the good work and maintain the ethics, and make sure
Thank you.
that continue to be an independent platform. Let lawyers grow, and let the people benefit by asking questions. That's what I love about immigration question.
That is our motive, Mr. Gihi. Thank you so much for the appreciation. Thanks a lot for that. And like you said, we are very, very transparent on these things. Before we could wrap up, if you both have any advice for
I'm
the
happy to be
audience.
one of the founders of it, but on the whole, you all have done a fabulous job in this. Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank you
much,
very
Mr.
much.
Gihi. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much for joining us today.
thank you.
Thank
And we'll
you.
have a part two for this. Can you tell us what is
Of
your
course.
topic for next week? Have you
Of
decided?
course, yes, of course. So let's wrap this up, right? Thank you all for joining us today. We hope this webinar helped clear all the misconceptions about the Part 2 US citizenship, and it played a crucial role of becoming a green card holder as well. Remember, while the process may seem complex, there are options, and it all begins with taking the right steps. Visit our website at immigrationquestions.com to connect with
Immigration
experienced.
questions.com, right?
Yes, immigrationquestion.com
Quick
to
question:
connect.
do you have a topic for next week? Because if needed, Rahul and
Mhm,
I just discussed with me that since things are going so well,
mhm.
we can be also planning on a part two of this. If there's an opening,
Absolutely.
Rahul and I would love to join on a part two. That'll be a little more complicated so people can benefit. Because I'm seeing a lot
Right.
of questions where people want to talk to us about the EB1A. So please give us
Yes.
the opportunity to come again
Yes.
and talk about
Mhm.
EB1A if required. And if ever
Absolutely,
we
Mr.
have an opening,
Mhm.
we'd love to come in and talk about the EB1A, Rahul.
Of
What do you
course,
think?
we'd love to
That
have
sounds
you.
like a very good idea.
Yeah, we would love to have you, and we would
I
be
know you guys
honored to
are,
have you
I know
again.
you're busy with this, but if there's an opening, or anywhere down the line, also we'd love to come in.
To have you is a big honor, Mr.
Thank you
Gay,
so much.
honestly. We are having a topic for our next session at same time, same day, Friday at 2:30 p.m. EST. That's investment visa roads, how to secure a green card through investment. That is the topic that we are looking forward to have for the next week. I mean, we would love to have you and have your insights as well in the topic.
All right. So let's see, like, if whenever there's an opening, we'll talk about it. But thank you so much. It's wonderful being on the
Mhm.
show, and look forward to seeing you again, Malia. Thanks to your entire
All
team.
thanks to you, sir. All
Thank you.
thanks to you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. So, for the audience, visit our website at immigrationquestion.com to connect with experienced immigration attorneys who can guide you through your unique situation. Should in case you missed any part of this session or you would love to listen all over again, catch us on Spotify. The live streaming is being recorded and will be live for listening on Spotify. Simply search Borderless Talk by immigrationquestion.com and listen to today's session and previous ones on the go. See you at our next session. Like I said, same time every day, Friday. That's at 2:30 p.m. EST. Every Friday, 2:30 p.m. EST. We will be analyzing the investment visa routes and how to secure a green card through investment next Friday. Also, today's topic is a broad one, so we will definitely be having Mr. Gehi and Mr. Rahul for another great session. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed, stay empowered in your immigration journey. You all have a great